I think that what an activist planner does is mediate between civil society and the state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that planning is politics by another means. And in part because the kind of dealing with, say, the hegemony of high-tech companies or Amazon over a city, it requires a kind of politics which is beyond what you can learn in planning school.
Mm-hmm.
It's about dealing with power. But what it isn't is that the planner confuses his or her role with that of being a political activist. It's good that there are people like that, but that's not us. We have a different set of skills.
It depends. It depends if you are employed by a local authority, you are in a way in that mediation. But if there's a community group that is resistant, for example, that their social housing estate is being demolished, and they hire you to come out with alternatives that they can present to the local authority
Yes.
as evidence that something differently could be done, and that it's going to be economically viable, it's greener and more sustainable, and all this stuff, then your project become an act of activism as well, because you're in a way you're using your skills as a planner, as an architect, to help local community to contest something, and not only to reject something, but to propose an alternative.
Right.
And I think that alliance between planners and activists is something very positive, because sometimes councils complain about activists as being someone that reject everything, as NIMBYism, and that alliance proved the contrary, proved that activists actually, in many occasions, are open to possibilities, to alternatives.
And what about some place that there is no inbuilt community? I mean, what about, for example, something like King's Cross or the Holloway Prison?
It's quite an interesting thing. Can you build in complexity from the beginning?
Mm.
You wouldn't do what's done at King's Cross, which is make something which is entirely a spectacular place, a space to be looked at. You would have taken the Central St. Martin's and distributed it all over King's Cross. You would have actually kept some productive function for it. There might even been a school there. It's a glorified shopping mall.
Yes.
What often happens with planning authorities, particularly in Britain, is that they're not corrupt, but they're corrupted. It's why I always say to people in the places where I've worked, what you really need at a certain point, you're going to need lawyers and people who run political parties to ensure that you're heard.
Mm-hmm.
Because the default position is that people are corrupted just the way Madame May is. They just don't listen. Their egos are involved in things that they present. They're experiencing alternatives as just blind resistance. That's why I say I don't think that what we do, the skills we have, are in themselves. They're necessary, but they're not sufficient.